there's a lot of movement with the metaverse space, and Mark Zuckerberg has his own challenges. So here's a couple of questions for you. What do you feel about the metaverse and the play to earn? Is that like oversaturated at the moment right now? And let's go to Nick. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hugely oversaturated. It's insane. There's like pretty much 2 or 3 games coming out every single week. Probably more than that. There's 2 or 3 games that I see coming out every single week. It's an absurdly oversaturated space. Basically, you just got the hype. When was that? Like, I don't know, sometime last year, mid last year, really got hyped up. I think it was when Mark Zuckerberg announced that he was jumping into the metaverse. That would have been around October-ish.
Yeah.
And then, like, everyone started coming out with a game. There's, like, so many games, and most of them aren't real games. They're just, like, concept art, and then they're like, oh, yeah, look at this artwork. We're going to make this into a game. I've been a gamer my whole life. I know that it takes, like, 5 years to develop a good game. But in the crypto space, it doesn't take 5 years. It takes 6 months, apparently, because they have the best coders on the planet, which is completely... I was about to say bullshit, but it's not true.
Yeah. Oh, you would say that. Come on, let's be real. No, it's true, right? It is, and I think what's happening as well is a lot of the games that are coming out, they're creating NFTs around that, and these NFTs are becoming really just initially popular, but it doesn't last. It's like a pump, and then it drops, and people losing money on NFTs. So you got to be real careful about the NFTs that you go ahead and invest into as well, because they're not all cool.
Exactly. Yeah. I was watching this series on YouTube about a scam game. Not in the crypto space. It was a scam game that came out on Kickstarter, like in 2016. And they were talking about how this guy scammed people out of $8 million. And I was thinking, $8 million? In crypto, over 4 years, mind you. Scam people out of 8 million over 4 years. In crypto, you can scam people out of 80 million in a week with an NFT series. And someone did that like a week or 2 ago. I think it was 80 million or 100 million that he stole. It's a great space, but it is ripe for scammers. If you don't know what to look out for, you can get in a lot. You can lose a lot of money.
You've got to take. In fact, you've got to do your homework, right? You've got to go through those, just like Billy does, and he looks through the different things. And my son Cameron does the same thing. They look through Discords, Twitter feeds. Even when they go ahead and follow someone, they look to see how many followers they got. They see how active they are on that. The information they're releasing. There's so much information you have to look at before you can, before you can really start thinking, okay, this is legit. This is actually a real deal. So, and
usually, if there's a lot of hype, just stay out.
Yeah.
If there's a lot of hype, it's usually a scam.
Yeah, no, I get that. And so, Lady of Crypto, quickly, and I'm going to say Lady for short, right? That's the first. The question I have for you is, what metaverse tokens do you think will pump in the next year? Maybe up this year to next year.
Well, just kind of following on from what you said to Nick, really, about the kind of oversaturation of the metaverse in the market. I think we will start to see the kind of, I'll use the word copycat projects, so the projects that have kind of jumped on this hype. I do think that we will start to see these filtered out for whatever reason. Either they actually don't have a project, it's all this concept art. But there are some fantastic metaverse projects out there, and I think if I had to pick, I would go with Vulcan Forged, Pia, RFox are fantastic. There's Wilder World. I'm trying to think of another one off the top of my head. Yeah, I'll leave it at those 3.
Okay, all right. And Marta, Billy, do you have anything that you guys are looking at regarding the regarding that space?
Well, yeah, I've been actually one of the best trades in terms of metaverse for me was NACA. I think that did 3x for me anyway. Yeah, and in general, I think I will agree with the guys. Market is 100% oversaturated. It's a trend that everybody hopped on straight away, and basically, started replicating the ideas. And very little people understand that it does take years to build a successful and in-depth game. So it did become like a quick fix and quick money for many people. So I will echo basically what Lady was saying, and Nick, in terms of getting into those metaverse projects that have very, very solid fundamentals and teams that have a lot of experience, that aren't just basically popping out of nowhere and creating games out of thin air, because most likely they're not legit and they're rug pulls. So that's my advice. I am looking at a few. Some games are maybe in beta testing, but the ones I got in, most of them are still in development. But the graphics they've shared and the games they've showed so far, I trust them. But I've done my background check, so that is 100% something people have to do when it comes to metaverse games and in general crypto.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Nick, you mentioned something about Zcash as one of the privacy tokens that you're looking at. What is the better one when it comes to privacy protocols? Is it Zcash or is it Monero?
I mean, it all comes down to opinion, really. I say Zcash, but these are all like the old school coins anyway. Monero, Zcash, they're all the old school privacy tokens, and they're all great. I love them, but what really is the best, I would say, is the newer stuff. So we got like XFT, Offshift, like I was saying. They're creating synthetic assets. So basically, XFT will allow you to buy Bitcoin privately, but it won't be Bitcoin. It'll be a synthetic asset. So it'll be, I guess, XF Bitcoin or whatever they're going to call it. Doesn't matter really. So it'll be XF BTC. So it'll be pegged to the value of BTC, but it won't be actually BTC. But it essentially lets you buy Bitcoin with complete privacy. So that's one of the major benefits of XFT. So yeah, if you were to ask me which one's the best, I'd probably say XFT because it allows you to buy a whole range of cryptos privately. But then you have Mystico coming in, which does a lot of interesting things, which I won't get into because it's just going to bore the hell out of people. And then you have Omnia, which is, again, another one that's just doing lots of interesting things. They have privacy nodes. There's a whole range of them. It's really, I think it's going to be a very strong narrative this year. And as we see more like, how what's happening in Russia, how basically the world has shut Russia out of the economy and it's basically just completely destroyed the finances of Russian people. People are starting to see more and more that at a whim, the government can take away everything you have. And people want to move towards privacy tokens so they could keep their finances private from the government. And I mean, who doesn't want that?
Yeah, sure.
I do.
No, absolutely. Lady of Crypto, have you got a Metaverse coin or Billy? I'm going to give it to either one of you, Billy or Lady of Crypto. Meta token. Any success stories on a trade on Meta tokens?
Go on, Billy. I'll let you have this one first.
Come on, Billy.
I haven't been going too much into the Metaverse or gaming sector because the way I feel about games is you sort of play them for a while. There's not really many games you can think of that actually stick around for that long. So maybe it's just a new era of gaming that's about to come, but I don't know. But a lot of the times you'll play a game for a few months on end, and then after that you'll sort of get bored of it and move on to the next one. So in terms of long-term investments, I'm not too sure about the Metaverse gaming sector, but it definitely could be cool. I do like the concepts of it.
And Lady, did you have any success stories on any Metaverse tokens that you've got into?
If I had to pick one, I'd probably say.
So you have a few of them.
Well, not to brag, but I'd go with Blocktopia. So it was myself and the team. We got in pre-sale on the CDFI Launchpad. It did. I can't actually remember what it did at one point. It was something.
1,000 times.
Did it 1,000 times. It was fantastic. like it's just one of those ones, you know, you might get into say 10 different cryptos and it's just the fact that you just need that one to take off. And Block was one of those ones for me. It was fantastic. But just going back to what Billy said, like I think you make a really, really good point. And that's the thing with people, they'll kind of play these games, and if it doesn't have enough to kind of draw somebody in to do with you know, the utility, what the game is about, it needs to have something different from the rest. And again, this is where, you know, it just needs to have something different, whether that be to do with tokens, whether that's to be with the utilities, you know, the gaming side of things. It needs to be different. It can't just be a copycat. And I think, again, we're going to see a lot of these dissolve, and the kind of best projects will survive.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's pretty good. That's good. And look, I think in the crypto market space, making 1,000% in any sort of crypto in a short period of time is just like, oh, I made 1,000%. So it's like it's becoming a norm, right?
This wasn't even 1,000%. Sorry to interrupt, Gary. It wasn't even 1,000%. It was 1,000 times. Which is like what, 10,000%?
Wow, that's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah,
1,000 times return on investment. So if you put in $100, you made $100,000.
That is insane. That is insane. That's just the option. That's why I think they're trying to regulate. They're trying to get in and control things here, because there's so many people making so much money from easy things, right? Just easy things, just getting in at the right time on the right token or right project, and people are just making a huge amount of money. It's just, I guess, being a trader for 25 plus years, I just know it's always been work to make money. You know, just these things that you get these young investors coming in, and they're making so much money from nothing. It's just insane.